Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you perking good. So, huge request on this video right here. As we all know by now, unless we've been living under a rock, there was quite a lot going on this past weekend with former President Trump at his rally in Pennsylvania, and shots rang out, and he got shot right through the ear, and apparently someone was trying to take him out. So that was a lot, and people have questions, a lot of questions around this. I've been writing down questions. This is a shopping receipt invoice, but I wrote the questions down on it that everyone's been asking. So I'm gonna do a video here trying to answer everything that I can. I'll try to fit as much as I can in this video. We might end up with a Perk Squad extended video on this just to try to squeeze in everything, because we've got questions. And right now there's a lot of theories circulating. There's a lot of discrepancies about what the real truth could be. So it's time to figure it out. It's time to get down to the bottom of it. And before we get down to the bottom of it, something else we already got to the bottom of. Apparently, this was something that I had predicted a year ago, over a year ago, here on the channel. As soon as it happened, my husband showed me and his phone, and I was looking at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was like, what the, this hasn't happened in my lifetime. Holy crap, this is a first for my lifetime. And he was like, you're the one that said that this was going to happen. And I was like, I did? And then I was like, I do remember saying it. Where did I say that? Ah, crap. Where did I say that? When did I say that? How long ago was that? I've been doing, political videos and readings and stuff for 4 or 5 years. So I was like, oh Lord, am I going to have to go back and look through every single, political reading I've done on a video or a live stream for the last 5 years? But fortunately, one of you very, very kind folks, Emily Voldock, shout out to you, found a snippet of where I said this. Now, I think I may have said it in multiple videos, but I am not, I'm not going to push anybody to scour through all my old stuff trying to find other places where I may have said this. So she found one, and it was a big one. So I'm gonna put that here of April 2023, where I had mentioned that this was going to come up, and I tried very hard to say it in a way that wouldn't get censored on the YouTubes. So check that out real quick. I'm not going to, well, I guess I'll say it because it came to my head, but and how do you say this on YouTube? Like, I wouldn't want something to happen where he does and says something and puts himself in a position where he becomes super vulnerable to other people. Like, how do I put this on YouTube? Damn. I don't want him to get to the point that he's so desperate that he does or says things or tries things that puts himself in danger from people who would love to have a shot at him in whatever kind of metaphorical sense that, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of things here that make me be like, I feel like I'm just grimacing over this. I feel like we are only at the tip of the iceberg for what's coming with this. And it's just dizzying. It's just dizzying. And my ear is just burning because there's just so much information, because there's so much to go on with this. So if you're new here, based on that, you may already know that I'm a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. And yeah, don't hop off real fast. As you can see, we've got a good track record here on the channel, and about to dive in over here. I'll go ahead and pull up the cards. Let's get right on into this and move this microphone right here. Got Penelope matching the cards right now. And of course, Everything I'm about to say is all alleged, just my interpretation. Gotta say that with the YouTubes. All alleged, just my interpretation. We're gonna find out what else we can know about this event now that, Lord have mercy, it happened. And, you know, thank goodness it didn't go any other kind of way. I am not one of those people that wishes DEATH on anyone. I don't care how much I dislike a person. I do not wish that on anyone. I'm not willing to put my own karma into the mix by wishing that on anybody. I don't need anything to come back around to me threefold or any kind of thing. I don't know if that happens, but if it happens, I don't want to be part of it. So we're not doing that here on this channel. We're just gonna, you know, stay open, stay civil, say what you need to say, as long as you are civil and polite and respectful in your best way possible. So here's the questions that I got from y'all. I got a lot of questions from y'all. I got, was this truly a lone wolf situation like people have kind of asserted on, you know, mainstream, that this was a lone wolf situation by this 20-year-old guy, that he was a bullied loner, that a couple of confusing things, that he was a registered Republican, but that he had donated to some Democratic entity like Act Blue or something like that, sent donations. So there was some you know, conflicting information around that, and so people so far are saying that's what it looks most like, that this is a lone wolf situation. There are people that are saying, I want to know if it's something more complicated than that. So we're going to take a look. Lone wolf, something more complicated. Y'all have even given me examples of what you think the more complicated options could be, because you wanted me to specifically look into them. So we're going to do that too. Y'all are saying, is this a more complicated thing, as in this was staged by former President Trump and or his team to get sympathy votes for him in November? There's other folks who are asking, like, oh no, I don't think he was in on it at all. What I want to know is, was it an inside job that someone somewhere, you know, wanted him this motion, if you're looking at your screen, and, you know, he had no idea, but it was an inside job, that there was more than just this lone wolf? And if so, who? You know, so there's a lot of different things. There's even people who were asking, did Putin have anything to do with this? Did Iran have anything to do with this? Like, y'all had questions, okay? Y'all had questions, and I'm going to try to get to the bottom of them. So thank y'all for sending them in. Y'all know I do these videos almost exclusively based on requests. Every once in a while, I'll have a wild hair to do a topic by myself on my own that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for this. But for the most part, y'all ask, and I try to deliver. So let's jump on, get straight on into this. I have already talked for a million years. It's just that I really needed to cover ground, and I'm gonna try to do this as neutrally and as respectfully as I possibly can, because this was a serious thing. I know I'm cutting up and playing around right now because I've got excess nervous energy about the fact that I'm even doing this reading, but we all know that people were injured, and someone who by all accounts seemed like a great person was killed. And so, you know, I want to make sure, you know, I'm aware that I present that I understand that it was serious, and that I understand that it was tragic, and that I'm just trying to get to the bottom of your questions here. So let's see. First off, the idea of lone wolf or something more complicated than that. Wow. Literally haven't even put the second card down, and we already get this card here. Y'all know, if y'all have watched the channel for a while, what does that say on the card? I mean, wow. First card out the gate. First card out the gate. Heavens to Betsies. Lord of mercy. Okay, so, whew. I'm not going to get context cards on this just yet. Let's not try to bite off any more than we can chew at one time. Let's just jump on into this with what we have, and if we got to pull more, we'll pull more. But to get the actual death card is the first card that came out here. That's just wild here. Just wild. The fact, too, that we have the Seven of Swords in reverse right here next to our King of Wands upright. In past readings, if y'all have been on the channel before, y'all have seen that Trump has usually come up as either our King of Wands or our Emperor card. He seems to, for whatever reason in our readings, come up as King of Wands or Emperor card, just like our Joe Biden card, our President Biden card, comes up as our King of Cups all the time in these readings. So here his card is in the upright position. Upright position. And we have this death card and Seven of Swords in reverse. So what this is showing here, before, like I was asking lone wolf, or whether it was a lone wolf or is there something more complicated, they skipped that question so far, and they're already answering the second question here of whether or not this was staged by him and his team. This tells me no. So for people who think this was for sympathy votes in November, I am not seeing that already by this front row. He was supposed to be, this card, this symbol I'm doing again on the screen with my hand for people who are watching this podcast style. He was supposed to do that. And so this card in reverse with his card upright shows he was not sneaking around. This is our sneaky card. He was not sneaking around. He was supposed to be DEAD. His card is in the upright, so he was not doing, some sneaky fuckery afoot, trying to, garner votes from sympathy by planning and orchestrating this, asking for this to happen. I do not see that here. So that's the first thing that they took care of here before they even got to our actual question. It's interesting that they jumped forward my first question and went straight to that. I don't know why they decided that one needed to be answered first. I almost feel like I need to check these things off as I go about them. That way I make sure I cover everything. Handy dandy pen. So putting a big X on that one. That I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. Now down below, when we're going here in terms of going back to the original question, lone wolf or something more complicated, I hate to say it, something more complicated is what I'm seeing. So the reason being, let's explain. Y'all, my energy in this video is wild. I am already sweating. This was an intense one. Y'all bear with me. You try putting out a video like this and seeing how it'll go when people are going to want to tear you apart in the comments about it. I know a lot of y'all are polite, but there's some people that aren't, and I'm nervous. So reason why it's seeing something more complicated. First and foremost, we have a partnership card here. A partnership card. Why would we have a partnership card if we're talking about a lone wolf? Literally, it's in the name. Lone, loner, alone. Wouldn't be seeing a partnership card here. Wouldn't be seeing a partnership card. Partnership card did not work out because this is in our reverse. And Sun card in reverse also did not go as planned, did not work out. So this didn't work out like they intended, didn't go as planned, as we are well aware, in the way that we're calling this an attempt, not a successful, a word. An attempt. So obviously it didn't go as planned, but partnership. So here we go. What are we going to do? We're going to get some context up on this partnership card. So let me cross this one off the list. Lone wolf or something more complicated? Something more complicated. Crossing that out. Crossing that out. I am wild today. Wow. I am buck wild. I ate ice cream before this. Who knows? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the ice cream. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's ice cream. Oh! No! Ugh, this is why I'm sweating. Y'all are screaming at the screen. I know you. OGs that know these cards. Y'all know these cards. I don't even have to, like, y'all know how to read cards. All of you OGs who've been watching this channel, you know how to read the cards. You know what my cards mean. You see me say these things. You know exactly what that stands for. No, 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 no. I quit. I'm sweating. I was sweating before. I'm sweating now. This is exactly why I kind of didn't want to do this reading, even if I really did want to do it. I wanted to do it because I was curious. I wanted to do it because y'all asked for it and I aimed to please. But I didn't want to do it because I worried what I might find out if I did it. And I knew I needed to be prepared to find out whatever it told me. I needed to be open-minded so that whatever it told me, I would be able to accept it. And I would be able to deliver the message one way or another and just allow that to be. And okay, so the Hierophant card, upright. Say it with me. Institutions and governments. Institutions and governments. Also, when I say institutions, we've seen in the past, it can be institutions like government institutions. It can be institutions like religious institutions. It can be institutions like big mega corporate conglomerates. It can be institutions like whatever. You know, there's lots of options that falls under the umbrella of institutions, but you know that that is that card. Unless we're doing a lovely little relationship reading, how's your marriage going? Well, good. This is a good card for commitment and marriage and yada, yada, yada. But when we're reading politics, y'all know what the hell this says. Y'all know what the hell this says. Partnership, institutions. All right, let me start crossing things off my list. Is knowing that it says institutions enough to check off beside inside job? Maybe we should just ask a few more questions about that before I check that off. Because I'm like, I know I was prepared to, I'm glad I wore a t-shirt so that I could be like, you know, instead of wearing a real nice fancy shirt and tearing it all to bejesus. Let's just get more context cards on this card. And we won't jump to conclusions about if institutions means inside job yet, because some of y'all had asked over here if it could mean something to do with Putin or something to do with Iran or something like that. So there's a chance that we could be looking at institutions that were not inside jobs yet. So let's do our due diligence here before I freak all the way the hell out. And let's just pull a little extra context here. I'm so nervous. Okay. Vibrating higher, higher, higher. Asking for protection with my black salt here. I'm going to put it in my lap, in my root chakra. Let's see what it says. Man. Okay. Let's just try here to stay calm. Remain calm, people. I'm saying it to you so that I can try to take that advice in myself. Remain calm. So, 5 of Pentacles upright. These are people who feel left out. They want to get in here. The things that are in here, this is a 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles are tangibles. Tangibles are often money, but it can be other things. Tangibles can mean money, status, prestige, you know, formal arrangements of sorts, contractual agreements of sorts. So these are people who want to get into that type of flow of abundance. I want that tangible, that status, that power, that money, that contract, that whatever. I want that. And I feel like I don't have that, or I'm at risk of not having that. And I want that. So this is kind of talking about the motivations behind whoever was behind this. This is speaking to some motivations. The Hangman card. And this is upright for him. This is upright Hangman card. This, y'all know, our Hangman is watching, waiting, observing. So this is something that had been planned. This was something that whoever was behind this watched and waited, observed, and planned. Queen of Cups in reverse. This is somebody, and when I say someone, I could mean someone singular, or we could mean someone plural. This is as we said, institution, an entity. An institution and entity, it's made up of individuals, but a lot of times those individuals are coming together, as a plural. So, when I'm saying things like that, just know that we can be talking singular or plural here. This is like emotionally empty. I mean, we're pouring over our cup. Our cup is empty. So this is someone who is emotionally empty. They are not connected to whatever the rest of us have emotionally that could keep us from doing things like this, that would feel trying to take someone's life is never worth it or never a good return on investment or whatever. That's not how this person/entity sees it. That's not how they see it. They are emotionally empty in that kind of way. Waiting for their ships to come in. So, and it's a 3 of Wands too. Okay. So, I'm trying to think of ways to say things that are YouTube friendly because I don't want to get kicked out of here. So, like I said, planned, watched, waited. They knew what was going to happen was going to be delivered. And when it said partnership here at the very beginning, this looks like it's a partnership between 3 different entities because it's a 3 of Wands. So when we're talking about institutions and stuff, we're talking about a partnership between 3 separate entities. Again, we could be talking about 3 separate individuals, but what's more likely is 3 separate entities within institutions. So, whether that's 3 different governments, whether that's 3 different departments within an organization, whether that's 3 different groups, and they're somehow formally, covered in a group together, but they're, not necessarily because of a certain department or something like that. I don't know. People can belong to a bunch of different types of groups for any different type of reason, but it looks like there's, at least 3 groups here that were involved in this, in terms of this plan. And I'm going to call it a plan because, like I said, we've had our watching and waiting and planned it out card here. And we've had the 3 of Wands, which is a watching and waiting for our ships to come in, observing, planning. So this, just wow. Okay. I'm trying to cope. All right, let's get a little bit more on this before I shuffle up and get more things, because I don't know how far I can take this one little pile before we need to shuffle up and like reformulate a question or something like that. So Hermit card, this is very deep, very dark, very well covered. Yeah, very well covered. Here's this small project to give to you. So it looks like there are deeper, smarter, more aware people that were giving this little project. Which reminds me of a question that people had, and I think this kind of answers it, so I'm putting it down, that people said, another thing with this is, what if there was no plan or plot or anything? It was literally only just incompetence from, like, I guess, Secret Service incompetence. That, you know, maybe it was that nobody planned anything bad. Trump didn't plan anything bad. Nobody else planned anything bad. He just happened to be able to get through all this stuff because of pure incompetence about the plan. The Secret Service just had oversights. There were security lapses. Maybe it was the local police's fault, and it was just pure incompetence. With this card here, I wrote that on the list, and I'm checking it off as I don't see that as being the case, because we see here that there does look to be a plan, and this looks to be a here you do this. You know, this is a handing off. This small Page of Pentacles, a handing off for someone to carry forward. So to me, if it was incompetence, which I'm not going to say which ones, but I've worked for 3 state government jobs throughout my life, and I have seen my fair share of government incompetence before. Not saying everyone's like that or all kind of ways are like that, just saying I have seen it, so I wouldn't put it past it that there was some incompetence going on in here. I'm just saying that is not the sole reason for the issue from what I'm seeing here. That can be checked off the list if people thought that's the only thing that was going on. So, okay, let me pull this up, and we're going to ask some pointed questions about some of these other things here that I've got written down. And I'm just pouring sweat, and it's uncomfortable. I don't like sweating. I don't like being sweaty. I don't like being sweaty. I don't like sticky, sweaty skin. I don't like how it feels. And I feel that right now because this is intense, and I feel like there's no way to do this and come off, okay. So all I can do is be like, y'all know me. I've been here for years, and you know that I try my best to be respectful. I try my best to be neutral. I try my best to seek the truth, and I try my best to answer questions in helpful ways, and that's all I can do. So as I shuffle up here, I am gonna put out there that we probably will have a second video here for an extended, a Perk Squad extended video, where we will continue to try to look into this as much as we can here, and then there will be another video for just if there's any extras that didn't happen to come up during this reading that we need to take a look at. The video clip you saw at the beginning of this, that was the proof video clip I put together of me predicting this a year and 3 months ago. That was a part of an extended video. That was in the Future of Trump video, the extended video of the Future of Trump that I did. That was in that one from April 2023. So we'll do another, extended video after this, but I'll pull some more obviously here. But if you'd like to be a member of the Perk Squad for that, you can have access to this upcoming video, that video where that one was, and, like 100 or more videos over there that you can binge. That blue join button down below, or the link in the description box, either one will take you there. Lots of perks to the Perk Squad. including shout outs too. So shout out to you, April Lindblom. Is that how you say your last name? I hope I didn't mispronounce it, but shout out to you, April, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. I'm going to keep this card because it shot out. Thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad, April. Happy to have you. Thank you for being here, and look forward to see you and others over there in just a jiffy. But for right now, this card already jumped out, and I want to know why. So we've shuffled. Y'all saw me shuffle. I shuffled a lot of times. So for people that are like, you don't shuffle, it's rigged, don't know how that could be. So here we go. Flipping it over before I even asked my question. But what my question was kind of in my head was that I just wanted to see more about what happened. That's kind of what I was thinking, because that might pull some extra information out, like what happened, what was this, what was the breakdown, what was behind this. So let's go ahead and get some more insights behind that. Okay. So from what we're seeing here, it looks like they're saying, obviously, communication was an issue. So we know that. In terms of what's already out there, we know that. Let me just put here, I didn't do this earlier. Oh, wow, it's literally 5 o'clock on the dot at the time of filming this on Wednesday, July 17th there, 5 o'clock on the dot. Just in case, as I'm saying this, there had been new information that came out that I was unaware of while I was filming or something. But to this point, we know that there's issues with communication in this, where things broke down. And to what we were seeing earlier in the stuff that made me sweat, that there was a lot of time, energy, thought, and work put into this in advance. And that we have a mix of good and bad, which to me means that the people around, or the people manning the event, or whatever you want to say, people in charge, whatever, there's a mix of good and bad. That to me shows there's a snake in the grass. There's a snake in the midst. Some of these people that were working that day were jewels, perfect little jewels. And some were snakes in the grass. So, we're, okay. That just answered another one of these questions that's down here. How I was like, I didn't really want to jump the gun. A bad turn of phrase here. And just automatically claim that what we saw in that little corner over there meant inside job. But if we mean that the people manning the event, in charge of the event, carrying out the event, responsible for making decisions about the event, etc., that there's some good and some snakes in the grass, to me, then that means whether it was partly or entirely an inside job, it does point to people from the inside being aware of it. Hence the snake, or snakes. I don't know how many snakes were involved in this. I don't know if it was just one really powerful snake at the top and everybody else at the event didn't know any better, and they were just trying their best and were, maybe just incompetent, or if there were multiple people there that knew or were aware and were in on things. I don't know the breakdown of that necessarily, but even if there was just one snake in the grass, that alone means that there had to be some knowledge and or coordination from our own people here stateside. And that means at least partially inside. So there could be other influences going on. I can't rule that out by this. but there had to be at least partially inside. So I've got to check that off the list on inside job. Ugh. God, we are blowing through these and it's uncomfortable. Okay. So let's move down to the bottom row. Now that we've got that. Bottom row. 5 of Cups upright, Wheel of Fortune upright, 2 of Wands in reverse. This is silver linings and a good luck card. We saw that. We saw silver linings. Silver linings meaning that this isn't a card that's all good. We've got 3 cups down and 2 standing. What this means to me, 3 cups down, wasn't there 1 person who was killed and 2 people who were critically injured? 3 cups down, 2 still standing. So it's kind of like they're saying, we're not going to put a big success card here because Trump survived, because others did not. And so we can't, look at this as like, yay, 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 or whatever, because it's still heavy. It's still sad. But it is a silver lining, at least in all of the horrible things that transpired. At least his life was spared. By the grace of God, whatever kind of way. At least he did not pass. So there is a silver lining to that. But it is sobering that there are other cups that are turned down here on the card. The good luck card, because honestly, good luck. Oh, okay, because, an ear, like, you see how close, my ears are not that close to my head, because my ears poke straight the hell out, thanks to my daddy. Okay, thanks to my daddy. Most people's ears are pretty damn close to their skull. I don't know. I'm an outlier here, but most people, it's pretty close. So when we get our Wheel of Fortune card, good omens, good luck, I think that's pretty self-explanatory here. However, 2 of Wands in reverse. These are, oh man, okay. Penelope, help me. I don't want to get removed from YouTube. Alright, y'all. I'm just saying what I see. I don't squeeze things out of the cards that aren't there or that I'm not being given. But if I see it, I am compelled to say it. And that can get me in trouble. And that can get people mad at me. This card was in reverse. I'm just putting it up this way for y'all to see it upright. This is someone holding the world in their hands between these 2 wands. This is someone that isn't on this side and isn't on that side. It's bigger than that. It's in the middle, able to hold this on. And the picture that I got in my head is when I have mentioned before how I said I am not historically a Trump voter or a Biden voter. That I am a centrist that finds myself agreeing with a little bit over here and a little bit over here and a little none of either of these things and stuff like that. And I always say about, like, I sometimes feel jaded in thinking that the left and the right are just 2 wings on the same bird. This person in the middle's the bird. So this goes above and beyond left versus right. This is kind of overarching, doesn't matter, goes across all of that, all of the above and neither. That's like, okay. I'm just trying, just like in the little clip y'all saw at the beginning where I had to be careful about how I say things and what I say. This doesn't appear from what I can see, to have been a plan that was about left versus right. It doesn't seem like, oh, President Biden's camp was behind this because blah, blah, blah. Or the Republicans somehow were behind this because blah, blah, blah. This seems like both and above kind of thing had something to do with this. So it's kind of like, regardless of which side you're on, you think that makes a difference here. And in this case, not so much. And it's coming up in reverse because obviously these have come up in upright. We had our silver lining. We had our good luck, good omen that he lucked out, that he did not lose his life. So, damn. That's not what was supposed to happen. Damn. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Oh, man. This runs high. I am very surprised that if it runs this high of why and how, you would end up with a 20-year-old untrained, and I say untrained meaning like not, years and years in the military with, as a trained assassin, doing all this, whatever. Why would... This is a lot. This video for sure is not going to go okay. If you so feel inclined to share the video out yourself to anybody that you think would be interested, just so it can get out somewhere, then that might be good, because I really don't think that YouTube's going to put this one out. I have major doubts that this one would see the light of day in any kind of algorithm. Not that a lot of mine do. Most of my videos are suppressed because I talk about crap you're not supposed to talk about, and I say things that are not ad friendly, like advertiser friendly, and so I'm not easily discoverable anyway. But for sure with this one, I'll be surprised if it's up. You may not be seeing this you might be seeing this somewhere else if you don't see it on the main page, because I don't even know if this is going to go up. But there's a lot here. We have gone through whether it was a lone wolf or something more complicated, whether or not it was staged by Trump and his team, whether or not it was an inside job of people that wanted him deceased, kind of getting around the who here. And that it wasn't just because of sheer incompetence. We have been finding out a ton here, and I've been going on for like 45 minutes. So I'm going to go, take a pause here. We're going to go into the Perk Squad extended video, where some of the other questions here are, will the truth of this matter ever actually come out to light? Will they try to get former President Trump again? Like, will they try again? Some kind of a way to, take him out, so to speak. That type of questioning and any other kind of pertinent things that come up around that in the continuance of this, we'll take a look at that at the Perk Squad extended video. But I need to pull this one to a close because I've already stepped on 8 million toes, and I don't know if this one will even go up. So if you'd like to book a private reading, you can book a private reading on my website, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. I've got private readings. I've got Reiki Energy Healing for cleansing, clearing, and tune-up. I've got life coaching for people that are like, just help me figure out how to navigate this and get on the right path and, get to where I want to be. And also, I do tarot tutoring for people who want to learn how to read the cards the way I read the cards. So all of that on BeasTalksAndTarot.com. And also, stay tuned for a B-roll at the end of this. I always put silly little puppy videos from my crazy little dogs here at the end to help lighten the mood when everything feels very heavy. So, a minute or two of puppy shenanigans to kind of lift everyone's mood, lift your spirits after some heavy stuff that we just looked into. And I still need to do a future of Trump update video. This clip that you had saw at the beginning of this was from the Future of Trump extended video that I first did in April of 2023. I still need to do an update video for the Future of Trump, because surely we've already seen I didn't get through that here, and I can't just, do all of that over there on the Perk Squad. So I need to do another video for that. And then y'all have requested, y'all want a future of Kamala Harris. You want a future of RFK Jr. I already did a future of Joe Biden on July 5th. There's other future ofs that people have requested and I've written down, so I've got a lot of those to jump into. But take a look at the B-roll, and everyone else, Perk Squad, I'm coming at you with a continuance of this so that we can find out about if the truth's ever going to come out, if they're going to try this on Trump again. Is there anything else that we need to know about this? So y'all tell me your thoughts, but try to make them respectful and polite. For people who feel like any comments are getting deleted, I am 99% certain that it's almost like I'm shitting. This is making me, like mad or whatever. In the South we say that. But no, 99.9% certain that I am not the one deleting your comments. I only delete things that's like, off yourself, and or stuff like that, or people telling that to other people, or people coming in with spam comments being like, go on my WhatsApp for some Bitcoin, or shit like that. Those are the things that I delete. But outside of that, I don't delete stuff. So YouTube has a way of not liking certain words written down, so you might have to spell things weird or space things out or something in your comment if you're going to write certain specific things. If you think things are getting deleted, just try again spacing things out, or replacing letters with symbols, or stuff like that. We got to get creative around here. YouTube's being wild up in these streets. So anyway, this was a lot. Let me know your thoughts. Let's be respectful with each other, respectful to the reading, respectful to me, respectful to the topic, as we voice what it is that we want to express. And stay tuned for the B-rolls. And I'm coming at you, Perk Squad, for an extended video. Everything in this was all alleged, just my interpretation. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, me. Bye, y'all. This door has been open literally all day so that y'all can go and come and pee as you like. So why do I see a literal river of piss in this floor right up here? Why? Little girl. Hey, are you doing a squee boat? Yeah, we can't see your paws. Like you're doing a little squee boat. Look at you. Look at you in your little squee boat. You look so comfortable. Nobody wants to move you. You're so comfortable. Look at you. Cute. 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 Boop. Do you have a Gatorade cap on your head? Did Daddy put a Gatorade cap on your head? Who's that going?